All right, all right. We back with another episode of Fuel or Crutch podcast. Let's talk about it. Today I got a very special guest, somebody I've known for a long time, somebody that I know plenty of y'all know as well. So what we gonna do is drop the intro and bring him on, and we get right to it. Gonna be another good show. Let's get it. All right, welcome. Got another episode, Fuel of Crutch podcast. Let's talk about it. Today I got a very special guest, Mr. Antoine Patrick Jackson, Mr. HelloWorld himself. So I appreciate you taking time to jump on the pod for me. And I like to get it going with some icebreakers. So with that being said, I know you're a sports guy.
All day long.
So who we gonna take it back? We gonna say who you going with, LeBron or Jordan?
LeBron or Jordan? I'm going with LeBron. Gotta go with LeBron.
All right. Hey, you ain't gonna get no complaints from me. Um,
I
Football.
take both, but I'm taking LeBron because I think he can do a little bit more.
I ain't mad
That's
at
what
you.
I'm saying. Yeah, that's
I
what
ain't mad
I'm
at that
taking.
at all. Um, French toast or pancakes?
Oh shit, that's a good one. That's a real good one. I'm gonna have to go with the French toast though.
Apple juice or orange juice?
I'm going with the orange juice all day.
All
All
right.
day.
But since we've known each other for a long time, just let everybody know where you're from, and where you grew up.
Okay, man. Thank you for first of all putting me here on your platform. Let me get adjusted. And I'll be happy to tell people a little bit about where I came up at. First of all, I was born and raised here in Madison, Wisconsin. My area growing up, like where I had a lot of time at, was by Penn Park on the south side and by Magnolia. Grew up going to Lincoln Elementary, uh, right, and then into West, going into high school. Pretty much a Madisonian by heart, and yeah, that's kind of where I was at in the Madison area.
And it's very few people that take pride in claiming Madison. I'm one of them, and proud to claim Madison and the South Side, of course. And I know you feel the same way.
Mm,
Um,
definitely, man, definitely. You got to represent where you at, man. As much as you want to probably leave or do something else, you know, it's your home state. Nothing like your home state, hometown. So I'm always repping.
so that also means that you're a Packers fan and a Bucks fan.
Yeah, I could be a fan. I don't like to say fan because if they win, lose, or draw, it really doesn't matter to me. I just like the entertainment side of it and the opportunities that lie in the entertainment side. See, I always see opportunity when I see or hear entertainment. So I got commercials out that runs through football all season long. So I seek opportunity for stuff like this.
And we're gonna definitely tap into that because I think that one of the most amazing things about anything that I've known from you with you throughout all the years is just the accomplishment that you've gotten to from where you were. And like I said, we'll get into that a little deeper. But for the people that don't know, why don't you share what your favorite sport was growing up? I know there are gonna be some people that know, but everybody ain't gonna probably know.
No, a lot of people, unless they like in a circle, they had no or played it with me. But hockey was our favorite sport. Me and my family's favorite sport to play growing up. Basketball was number two. Football came in at number three, and baseball and everything came, in the later numbers other than hockey. So
And I knew hockey, which which always shocked me. I couldn't believe that there was black brothers on the South Side playing hockey, but it was cool because y'all were tapping into another area that just we just don't really tap into. And what got y'all into that?
my mother actually wanted to get us doing something outside of what was right there that typical black kids do and stuff like that. And she figured that we was kind of more on the rougher side, so she wanted us in a kind of more like hands-on sport. So my mom actually the one that kind of put us through that and kind of kept us being consistent. Even when at the first time when we couldn't skate and stuff like that, that's like the hardest time to continue to playing. But we toughened it out. We ended up being really good. Me and my brothers, cousins that ended up playing. We ended up being really good actually.
No, that was super dope. But also like it's funny because we ended up playing baseball together on the baseball team. Remember back in the day, we I don't remember what our team name was, but we was green and we was sorry as hell.
My grandfather did that with the Boys and Girls Club actually. That was my grandfather that put that together.
And it was cool too
Bi-
because it also,
Bill
like you said,
Graham.
shout out to Bill, shout out to Patty too. Patty was always somebody that was well known in the community and helped a lot. Um,
Yep.
but just but thinking about how important that exposure was to be able to do different sports, like just speak about how important exposure is to just your upbringing and then just upbringing in general.
Well, that's a very good question, by the way, because if we don't have exposure to certain things, we'll never know what it feels like, look like, or even smells like, right? So the only thing that you can be able to learn to is things that you really are around. So the fact that you have people in your life that can expose you and to new things is highly recommended because of the simple fact is that if you're around everybody and y'all all are exposed to the same thing, that's all y'all know. But once you go out that block and you start learning new things, you can now implement those things in your community or your circle that can now expose more people into other lights. So it's very important that people get exposed and people be out here opening doors for young children and even adults to be exposed to things that they don't have no awareness of. So it's important, and I stand behind creating opportunities and building pipelines that expose people to new things, so they can adopt, especially in so they can use it in they tool belt, put it in their tool belt and use it.
Facts. So, just taking it a step further, how important or what, like, talk about just how important and impactful growing up on the South Side was for you and us in general, and how much time that we would just spend at Penn Park. Because I don't think people outside of Madison know, and like we know that people from all over the city would come just to the South Side, literally to be posted up and hanging out at the park.
Man, back in those days, it was like if you wasn't on at Penn Park, you didn't know really much nothing. It was tough times back there, but it was also exciting times back then, and we also created a family through our community, and that's the reason why we all know each other like that. So I think if we wasn't that close, we wouldn't be so close as we is today. Like our generation, we kind of stick together. We understand what we had to go through to get past certain goddamn roadblocks. So I think the South Side made my generation tougher, being in that environment, seeing how things uh kind of came together, and seeing where it is today, where it just kind of got taken from us a little bit, and that same unity is not there anymore.
Facts. And I know that you do a lot wanting to give back to the community, but let's talk about like what was your dream like career as a kid?
Well, I was a trouble kid, so I really didn't have. I just knew that I was good, that I was determined and stuff like that. But I didn't know as growing up what I wanted to do, where I was gonna go, and how my future looked for me. Because I was so much into the streets. I was exposed to things uh that was illegal, stuff like that, and I thought that was the right thing to do. So I kind of took to that as like dreaming out. But at the same time, as time grew, I kind of try to expose myself to other environments, and that's how I got to adopt a new methods. How I grew from the South Side mentality into like an entrepreneur over the years. But I always keep that dog fight in me. I think that's what's important because on the South Side, you got to fight to survive. Sometimes you got to go outside knowing you got a fight coming your way. But if you can
Physically,
get through it,
like you knew physically you had to fight. And
you
then as we
knew
got older,
physically.
and we as we've got older, we've still held on to that, and we fighting every day in the different areas and environments we are in as adults, as fathers, as community members, and CEOs and business owners and things of that nature. So yeah, that I mean, I completely understand. So who are some influential people in your life growing up?
Uh, Stone Cold Steve Austin was one of them when I used to watch wrestling. He ain't take no man. Uh, who else? Well, LeBron was definitely a good inspiration. I watched his come up. Matter of fact, we're around the same age. I believe LeBron is 38 now in that area. So LeBron, I watched it. He not 39. Yeah, I kind of
39.
figured that 38, 39, or it could have been 30, 70. But anyways, I watched his grow and his pattern. So that I, I like I like to see things behind the scene and kind of see is it more to somebody other than like basketball, for example, for LeBron James, and I got to see what he was doing, how he was giving back and stuff like that, and how his attitude was, how he had such a high pedestal, and how people look up to him. So I kind of see what he was doing, trying to handle all of that and stuff like that gives me courage to do what I got to do because he handled it well, and I feel like I handled it pretty damn good as well. So, so LeBron, Stone Cold, my dad, my grandfather, those was my biggest ones. My dad and my grandfather. My mom was a big backer too. Uh, and a lot of people from the streets, man, I gotta say that had a good mindset, had a good attitude, but they business was in the wrong aspect. But a lot
Right.
of them had a lot of good business mindsets. If they just drifted it from the street hustle into the business, they would have been billionaires.
And shout out to Dion pulling in. He said, "Bro came a long way." I remember when him selling candy out the back of his truck on the south side, strong.
Man, I used to love doing that, man. I grab the kids when I when I get to the park, I figure out what the kids was. The kids was excited. I'll grab a couple kids, man, have them work the store, have them teach them how to deal with money, deal with customers, uh, provide a good service, and have fun at the same time. That was really my enjoyment. It wasn't just the little twos and fews I was getting, but at the same time bringing in something to our community that people remember and can actually uh, copy and paste that same hustle. Because I think a lot of people after that start doing the things that I created. So
So
those are the
trendsetting.
things. Yeah, trend setting.
Uh, so I know you talked about you know you was a troublemaker and got into trouble. I was aware of that long before any legal issues came up. But you want to talk talk a little bit about where it landed you?
Oh man. So before I was 4 days before my 18th birthday, I was already on bail and stuff like that for doing other things like fighting. We used to fight all the time. So I was on bail for fighting. And then we got one night on what was that, 4th of July, shit got a little bit out of hand on the serve. You know, we used to sell drugs, so one drug deal got out of hand on July 4th, and we ended up getting booked in for armed robbery and another battery case and all this and all that, and I got sent to prison for about 2.5 years. So I didn't had no right out of college experience
Right.
like a lot of kids going out of high school, graduating high school, and then thinking about college and this and that. I was thinking about jail cells and what prison I was going to. So that was pretty messed up. But I ended up learning from those mistakes as I look back at it, and then yeah, I served 2.5 years and got out when I was about 20, right before I was 21.
So when it was it during that time that you kind of like had to sit and figure out like how I'm gonna get myself together so I can move forward, or like when did that transition or transformation happen?
Well, that when I went to prison, everybody get time to figure out who they is a little bit because you ain't got nothing else to do. So I started to read. I started to see that this wasn't a life for me. Like, okay, I did all this shit and didn't care before I got here because I didn't really take anything serious or any authority serious, and I wasn't kind of putting my mind to the I haven't took my mind outside the streets. But when I got to prison and I got to reading books and I got to listen to people's stories, I got to thinking that I need to change my mindset and I need to change the way I see opportunity out there because if I get out with the same mindset, then I'm finna land myself back in the same situation. So I got to prepping my mind while I was in prison and how I was going to kind of react to society once I got back out because prison ain't nothing nice, man. It ain't nothing but a waste of time in there. Watching TV, playing games, reading books, and doing prison politics. So that I knew that wasn't for me for sure. So that's when it kind of was kicking in. And then when I got out, I wanted like when I got out. I did a good job prepping myself, very good job actually. But I had a couple more penitentiary chances that I missed that wasn't in my cards that I ended up dodging. And I took some of those close encounters and then I said, nope, nope, this is it right here. If they ain't got me right now, I'm finna change it forever. And that's kind of how it went. I went about 2 years, 3 years while I got out of prison on some penitentiary chances, and then I kind of was growing myself. I didn't stop the growth of my mind and my behavior. I just kind of created a database, and then from the database, I get to see what was my triggers, what triggered me from having an attitude, what took me in some negative environments, and I kind of monitor those. And when those 3 4 years came out, when I got out of prison, as I put it in society, then I kind of put those things in aspect after I dialed it up and got focused. If that makes sense.
No, it definitely do. And so from that, what was the next progression? Because I know where you're at now as what the largest area minority contract landscaping business in the
Yeah,
area.
so right now we sit as being the largest black minority landscape business in Dane County. We hold a 10,000 square foot warehouse here in Sun Prairie. We have over 20 trucks and trailers, and we revenue close to a little bit over a mil. So a year, and that's take us into 2024 where we're trying to well, we got methods to kind of grow that and try to land us around, try to double that this year.
That's what's up. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in. Jazz and Vincent, let's go, bro. Van tapping in on Instagram. Tell my dog what's up. Always looked out for me. That's family, and I
Oh
think that's
yeah, can I
it's
see
about.
the chat so I can answer any questions? Because I
Oh, if
know a
they,
lot of people.
I want people to ask questions because I'll definitely
Yeah.
ask them so that way you can answer. So again, feel free to ask questions. We'll get to them. But until questions start
Oh, I
popping up,
see them now. Okay,
shout
I
out to
see them
Terrence
now.
Jackson pulling up.
Terrence Jackson. That's some of the reasons why you see some of the TV commercials on your television at home.
And y'all large family because y'all stretch pretty wide. Pause.
Yeah,
Um,
TJ has a big part on why people see a lot of our advertisements. So shouts out to Terrence Jackson. So y'all need any marketing or anything like that, go to Up Next TV or or reach out to Terrence personally. He'll love to hear from you.
so so as you transition, what were some of the struggles? Like I know like you still kept your hustler's mentality, which is why you were able to do the candy shop out the back of the truck, which I remember, and that entrepreneurial spirit because you also brought kids along with you so they could see it because that exposure was huge.
Right, man. So uh be real with you, man. Like I always think of myself as a team player. What I didn't see, and the reason why I had to become more of a leader and somebody like a trendsetter, because I didn't see anybody that I can reach out and say, "Hey, these things need to be done." As people, we're gonna be losing attraction with our people if we don't get somebody to lift up and be a voice. So that's what I did. I just really kind of put myself in a position to be a problem solver and to be a resource for somebody and to have resources for somebody so people can have pipelines to information. And so I made myself available to go out there and take on all this information and take on all this new technology. And that's why you see us so nice at our marketing strategies and stuff, because we learn how to do things as we grow, and we love to teach people and show people new things and how to be better at business, or how to even have a good networking mobility so you can be able to talk in rooms that you're uncomfortable in.
Man, talk about the importance of networking and branding because I believe that is huge. That's huge. Like that's how you grow. So just speak to the importance of that.
Well, it's a technique behind this stuff, right? It's like everything you see out here, you gotta learn more information about it for you to be better. I always believe in it's not what you get. Oh, people always kind of look at things and see how can this person help me, and that's the wrong way of looking at it. And that's the reason why I had to change my way of looking at it. I came in the game saying, how can I be a person that can solve their problems, right? And be a problem solver for them. Because I found out that was the person that was gonna win. That's the person that's gonna be asked for or look for when shit arrives, because you already taking the initiative of being a problem solver. So that's how I looked at it. Networking is, oh, how many problems can I solve for these folks out here? And some problems are small, some of them big. Just over time that stuff will come to you. But networking in general is important. You gotta have relationships with folks so they can talk about you when your area comes up. So like it's saying, For example, if somebody was talking about a land contract and they need mulch and rocks, if you don't have networking, if you haven't networked with somebody that's in that room, ain't nobody gonna talk up your name. You get what I'm saying? You need people to talk
Yeah.
your name up. And how do you do that? You make sure that you go to events and you greet and meet folks, and you look at them and you ask yourself, is that somebody that you can help? And if so, because everybody, you ain't gonna be able to solve their problems. Some of them you just gotta say, no, this ain't for you. But at the end of the day, create these relationships with these people so they can use your name when they in those right rooms. And that's how you see JYC prevail, because we always out there. You see events, we go to events, we out there, we still in touch with the people.
And you pull up with Giovanni too.
Hell yeah, Giovanni pull up with me. He got the show now. Giovanni is famous now. So you know, it's a big deal just being with Giovanni now. Even though that that I made his his uh his portfolio, that guy's a piece of work to be with, man. If you talk about trying to get somewhere, and Giovanni with you, you ain't going nowhere, because every 2 feet you got somebody trying to take a picture with him.
You gonna start charging to take a picture with the dog,
Come on, Giovanni.
with the
Come on. Come on up here and,
uh
and show everybody what's up.
we get a special guest, Giovanni the
Say what's up,
Star.
G. Normally he ain't closed, so now that it's funny because a lot of people that come to my house, when they see Giovanni without his clothes on, they call him naked. That's funny.
But speak also, because like
Okay.
you were just talking about being in rooms that you're not comfortable in. So speak to like that level of confidence and where it came from, and how you would tell anybody else that they where they need to be.
Well, first of all, confidence comes with experience. So you need to have experience and get yourself to these places where you putting in time to get these experience, because you ain't gonna have no confidence if you ain't did something similar like this before. So it starts off small and it gradually goes into these big rooms, because the more you put yourself out there and talk about what you got going on, the more comfortable you get. And you can start getting your data from the conversation that you have with people. And that's what builds you up. That feedback is what builds you up. And eventually, when you keep on going, your 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 energy to get that 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 boost, or that piff to get yourself to say these things in these rooms will be sky high, because you didn't put in the time. You didn't keep on putting in the time. Even if you talking to one person, get your line right. Get your 15-second spiel up. Get your 30-second elevator speech up. And keep on using that. Keep on saying it. Talk to your friends about it. Go outside your friends. Start having these conversations with strangers and get feedback. That's what gives you confidence.
And I believe that that's a gift. So like when did you realize that you had that gift of gab where you could sell anything, or if you got an information that you want to get to them, how did you get when did you realize you had that gift?
You don't realize it while you on goddamn it the road. You get what I'm saying? Like, you just keep on doing things that make you feel good. Understand yourself. Once you start understanding yourself, then those things come uh more common to you, where you can say, okay, this is for me, this is not for me. And that's when you ask yourself, okay, time, understanding, and being consistent. Those are the times you put those together, and wake up one day and be like, damn, I'm really doing this stuff. It's because it's a practice that you got to put in with yourself that gets you to that spot where you can say, damn, look at, and you look back and you say, damn, look at all the road I just goddamn it covered. You wouldn't believe it because you spending too much time practicing on being a good person that you don't even realize it, that you creating that person that you want to be.
No, that's what's up. And shout out to Terrence putting his up next, nettvnetwork.com. It's an app, so you can definitely go download it. Theotis Walker said they did some work at my house. Great work, much appreciated.
Oh, much
Um,
love, baby. Much love.
and
Hey,
Terrell Outlay, man.
by the way, Jackson needs an S on that .com.
All right, we got it. I got you. Um,
Oh, they gonna be
Terrell
short a
Outlay,
little bit.
how do you send stars, man? You gotta go on Facebook and purchase the star package, and then you can send them to me. Um, and I can have no problem dropping a cash app later too, so that way we can get these stars rolling in. Oh, and a comment on Instagram. Uh, hey Patrick, Antoine Vander
Yeah.
said you will never beat him one-on-one, and then he said neither will I. But I had beaten you, Vander, one-on-one at West High School. Robert Bearfield was there, and he can confirm. So don't do that. But
Oh,
no,
that's so
definitely.
funny. Answer, does he want me to shoot with my left all game or my right hand all game?
and go to the park and shoot for money.
That's what, man. You know they got the new courts up there now, so you motherfuckers are
Oh, I
dead.
can't wait. The glass back. Oh, and Rob just tuned in. Rob, please go ahead and remind Vander that he definitely lost to me one-on-one at West. But that's here nor
Maybe
there.
maybe we should do maybe this should be a good idea. We get Juju on board with this. Maybe we get all the Southsiders on a one-on-one scrimmage game at Juju's block party. That'll be dope.
Jerron had done that at one point and did the little tournament. I think he did it twice. I believe Juju won once. Vander was there and didn't play. He was ducking smoke, but he ain't gonna.
Oh,
He
he
don't
was
want to cop.
ducking.
He was ducking smoke. He don't want to cop to that though.
Hey, Vander, he on the Celtics right now, ain't he?
No, he's overseas.
Okay. What up, Vander Blue? What's the deal? That's my boy right there.
All right. So Brittany got a question for you.
What's that?
What's one advice you will give small business owners if they want to keep an authentic, successful brand?
Knowing who you selling to, that's what's going to keep you authentic, right? Because at the end of the day, you got to know who your customers is, and you got to know what you selling. So when you try to say authentic, a lot of times if you don't know who your customers is, they're going to change the way you sell and bring in the product. So at the end of the day, knowing your marketing aspect is going to keep your is going to keep you online, because if you selling, like, I don't know what you selling, is you selling goods or services, but if you selling goods, being authentic is keeping that goddamn it keeping keeping the product in order and keep what you selling on track. So have data on what you selling, and make sure it sticks to your vision and mission plan.
Shout out to Blue pulling up. PPG always.
Oh, blue, what's the deal?
He says stay consistent.
Yeah, being
So
consistent.
I've always felt that iron sharpens iron. So, like, who are some people that you use to like brainstorm with for next ideas, or brainstorm with just to keep things fresh and taking things to the next level?
Shit, man, your network is your goddamn it net worth. I know y'all heard that before, right? So it's a lot of
Yep.
people it's not a lot of people, but I bounce things off of like Terrence Jackson. He's one of them. My mentors, my dad. Oh my God, I bounce stuff off of him all the time, and a bunch of my close friends. you know. So having somebody that you can bounce stuff off of, and then don't let me forget my beautiful fiance Chanel. I always bounce up stuff. She gets it firsthand. So so having that motherfucking that circle that you can bounce things off, and that'll give you so much leverage. And people that don't be no downers. You can't have people that you give information to and they be downing. Like if they downing your stuff every time you bringing ideas up, you need to get yourself a new set of individuals that you keep around you, because I cannot stand nobody that leads first with something that's a downer, negativity.
Negative,
That
right?
kills
Yeah.
my that kills my vibe right away. And because when I look at disasters, I look at it much different. If I look at a disaster, I look at solutions. Automatically, what we gonna do to fix these problems? Automatically, my brain work like that. I don't look at it as being a damn problem. I look at it as being a situation that we gotta control.
No, that's facts. And so something else that I wanted to ask, because I've seen it for myself as a business owner, but like, how long did it take you to see like real gains from your business? Because so many people will will quit on their business because they didn't see any like financial gain right away. So how long did it take you to before you really started to see some real gains?
Well, how long did it take me to pay myself, or how long did I start seeing like the network come in? I mean, uh, the net come
Hit
in.
both.
Cause you
Hit both.
well, it took let me see, it took almost 7 years for me to actually start paying myself like our actual check. Now,
Mm-hmm.
don't get me wrong. I did everything based off my business, so I almost lived off my business because everything about me is just business, right? So once I started to get things in order, once I started to get things in orders, then I started to break down how I paid myself and how I dedicated my funds. But it takes a long time for a business to grow, because if you ain't think, you only got two ways to do this. One, you back yourself. Two, you go get loans. I've never been that guy that had the opportunities with the banks while I was growing in business for them to give me loans. So it's not like I wasn't trying to get the loans, but they didn't give me the loans. So I had to back everything up. So every time I go do a job, I'll go put at least 70% of that job back into my business. And I said to myself, I had times where I could have took money, plenty of times to take money out, but I always said my gains are gonna come later, you know. That's just how I did it. So at the end of the day, is that how big you want to see your business? How much money do you want to take out of your business? Is vital to a small business. Like the more money you take out for your personal gains, you got to pay more taxes. The money don't go back into your business, so you can't upgrade. Let's just say your materials or your office, your office supplies, or whatever you selling, or whatever your business is. If you taking money out, then is you gonna spend more time to grow. Period. So I took that money and kept on flipping it. I kept on saying, "Ah, nah, this ain't good enough. Oh, nope, this ain't good enough. I see another opportunity to take money. Nope, put it back in." That's how I did it.
No, that's dope. Like you ended up having that long term goal, so you knew what you was working toward.
Yeah, I made a 15-year old. I made a 15-year goal, and I'm coming up on that. I just made
All
my
right.
new goals. I just made my next 10 year slot goals. And those motherfuckers is pretty exciting. And
Hey,
that's what keep me fired up.
I love it. I feel like you always got to set those goals so you can work toward it. Because if you ain't working toward nothing, you just kind of going through the motions. Going through the motions ain't good
Yeah,
enough.
you really got to set out the map. Like, just like driving. If you're driving somewhere and you're not driving without a GPS, you ain't driving nowhere where you ain't got no destination. Treat your future just like that. Track your steps and guide yourself to the right destination.
Andrea, thank you for tuning in. She says it's great to see you both successful. Definitely appreciate it. I'm not going to try and butcher your
Well, I
name. I never got it
appreciate
right when
that.
we was younger.
We do
We got
appreciate
Corey
that.
tapping in. Action Jackson.
You know that's my name. That's my real name coming on the 29th. I own that name.
Oh, all right. Action Jackson coming to a department store near you.
Goddamn right.
Derek said, I'm down to run it back if when Jerron Mayman runs the United Impact 101 tournament. I told you it was there before. I don't know if Jerron wants to bring it back because it was if people was there. I remember Nimrod being there, Trey Creamer was there, Malik Clements was there. It was a lot of people that was there and had a good turnout. Julian ended up winning, but like I said, it was a great turnout.
I ain't gotta be rigged that that man won. I'm just, I'm just playing. I'm just playing Julian. Shit. And I remember I went up there to Florida to watch them play and support them when they went to Florida when they was trying to win the championship. That was pretty dope.
With the Mavericks.
Yeah, with the Mavericks.
Yeah, for sure.
I ended up staying in Florida,
So I
goddamn it,
got
for
a big
three
question for
goddamn
you.
weeks.
What's next for you?
You
Because I
heard
know
what
at
I
one point
said?
we had talked about you wanting to find ways to help youth get into opportunities just to learn trades and things of that nature. Um, you know, so what's next for you? Are you partnering with somebody, collaborating, or just something that's still in the works for you?
Well, that's a brilliant question, and everybody kind of sitting out waiting on what I gotta say about that because I've been really hyping that up on letting people know that I got something in the works brewing, and I'm really excited for it. And it's almost time for me to bring that out, but I'll give a little bit of spiel about that. So right now, JYC, what we're gonna be focusing on and what we're gonna be pivoting on. Well, we already did a pivot and transforming into this area. So what we're going to do is build a workforce development program to get people knowledgeable about our industry and teaching people literacy, the literature aspect and hands-on aspect about landscaping and lawn maintenance. So we're going to create a pipeline for the community to get involved and be exposed to what I've been doing the last 14 years.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope.
Yeah,
That is
so
yeah.
I'm really excited about that. That's something that I'm so excited for because uh getting people certified and knowledged up about construction. Think about it, you guys. Construction is going up whether you like it or not. And they're building year long. That means job opportunities is out there. And our diverse our diversity is not strong when it comes down to my industry. And I want to see more of my people in here and more minorities in this field of work. And the pipeline that we introducing to the Dane County area is going to be something that's going to be very important for years to come. And it's going to change lives for years on out.
Man, I definitely appreciate that game that you finna give to the community, the youth, and then not even just the youth, people that are our age, our peers, that want to do something different. Because I know there's plenty of people that have ideas and thoughts about start wanting to start their own business. I know there's people that have ideas and thoughts about just doing something different and pivoting from whatever career they're in. that they're in now. They're tired of working for somebody else. They want to work for themselves. So you putting it out there and giving people the game, and then just you're also exposing them to just to see to see somebody doing some of the things that they have thoughts about doing. So it encourages them to go ahead and do it.
Yeah, because I know people heard this a lot of the times. If you see me up here and I didn't completed these steps, damn it, anybody can change. I was a knucklehead for real. I was some of the time, some of
He
the
not lying.
times, some of the times I got I gotta actually ask myself, how the hell did I come from that street mentality? Because boy, that was a hell of a transaction. That was a hell of a transaction. So,
No, for real, for real. Um,
but if I can do it, you can do it. And that's for real. You just gotta practice every day. You gotta practice being a good person every day. Just be a good person. Know what the hell you want. And I can't really, talk about this enough. Knowing yourself is the biggest piece of it all. You gotta
yes,
stop lying to yourself.
self
Don't
awareness.
lie
Speak
to
on it.
yourself. Hell yeah, self-awareness is top key. People ask me, how did you do this? How did you do that? Well, first I had to take the time to know myself. Knowing what I like, well, knowing what I don't like, knowing what irritates me, knowing what doesn't irritate me, controlling my happiness, controlling my destiny, trying to forecast things that I'm finna do and practice on forecasting my days. Therefore, I know what they look like.
No, you hitting on it. That I mean, those are some of the things that I talk about all the time. Like just that self awareness, knowing yourself, so you know where you're going. Like you said earlier too, knowing your triggers, what's going to lead you down a path that ain't productive. And so I got two questions that I want to end out with. One that's extremely serious, that's like my favorite question to ask, and then one that's more of a lighter note that we can kind of pivot on. Shout out to Phil McAllister, Chef Mac. He said, "Used to give Miss Patty fits, so I'm glad the success was birthed from the chaos." So he remembered back
Hello,
in the
world.
day. Um, so the first question of the serious one would be, what would you tell your younger self? So you today, what would you tell yourself that might have been 10, 11, 12 years old?
Man, shit, I don't even know. See, this is the thing. It's not that I wasn't listening back in the days. I felt like I listened pretty good and I understood what they were saying. It just was I was having so much fun doing having no rules, having no rules out there in the streets was fun to me back then. So I don't even know what I could say to my younger self other than, look, brother, there's more things out here other than goddamn it the streets.
Listen, that alone is a message that needs to be shared. Like literally, there's so many the youth of today that think that the streets is it. That's the end goal for them. That's what they pride themselves on. But I mean, you're living testament and an example. Like that ain't it. That ain't the only thing that you can do and become.
Yeah, because you get tired of doing the same shit. When you in the streets, you do the same thing, right? And ain't no change. You just get up and do what you do, and it's a lot of burnt time because you're doing nothing, thinking that you're doing something, and you really ain't doing nothing but burning energy and time with yourself. Life is a time ticket, man. And you only got so many goddamn decades to be at your best.
Facts.
So you wanna understand that while you're young. So if I had to tell a young person is start changing your behavior now. Start understanding that it's other things that's gonna excite you. If you want to go to the club or you want to, have fun, that's cool. But get your stuff in order first, and that's always gonna be available. That ain't going nowhere. That's just a part of the entertainment.
Man. So yeah, I definitely appreciate the gems that you dropped, the jewels that you dropped in the game that you didn't put everybody else on, and letting people know a little bit about your journey, your history, your past. But the last question to kind of bring it home, because we are Southsiders, you got to tell me your top five Penn Park Hoopers.
Oh, shit. You know I'm gonna have to pick pork, and
Of
you know
course,
I'm gonna have to go with Rose.
Porky
I'm gonna have
Rose.
to go
Okay,
with pork, Rose. Uh, I want to give out some the younger generation, like my gen too, because it's so many. I'm gonna have to go with the twins. The twins was definitely goddamn a headbanger back then. And then who else was a headbanger too?
and and sometimes the Penn Park Hoopers don't necessarily be the ones that made it.
Right,
Cause,
right, yeah.
cause
Because at the end of the day, it was Southside's legends.
and listen, one of the ones that always stand out to me that's sorry as hell, can't really hoop, but when money on the line and it come down to shooting, it's two of them, Larry Rolock and Quez.
Quez, boy, that nigga, I played that man so many goddamn times. I can't
You
believe he
listen,
made some of
if
those
we was
shots.
if we was playing 5 on 5, I'm not picking Quez. But if I had to put money on somebody to hit a shot,
3 on 3
playing
all day.
yep, I'm putting them on there. So yeah, let me get your top five Penn Park Hoopers. You said Porky, Rose, the twins.
Rose,
We'll
the
count the twins as
I take
one.
I take I take I take I take I take Preacher. Matter of fact,
Josh,
I'm taking Josh and Joseph.
we'll count the twins
And
as one.
then okay, and then I'm taking let me see, it's so many. I'm taking I know a lot of people ain't gonna like this because he was a little ball hog, but at the same time,
You about to say Mike
he
Mike.
he yeah, I'm finna say Mike. How you know? He
Come on,
know, you know the streets, boy. I swear to God, you know the street. But boy, that boy can hoop like a motherfucker. And then who I gotta get a big guy. Who is my big guy to go? I'm going. I would say Pooh because me and Pooh, we hit a lot of licks together. We hit a lot of licks together. I used to take so much people money. I made $15,000 one summer. I know I
man,
did.
I ain't never gonna forget playing 2 on 2. Me and Dante Starr versus Packy and Ra Ra. Do you know Packy and
Oh
Ra Ra?
my God.
They literally whooped our ass the entire game. It wasn't like no
Yeah.
good game. They were just fouling the shit out of us.
I was just gonna say follow their way to the top, baby.
But you got Derek.
Oh
Derek said,
my
"What
God.
about Big Reggie? Reggie Gaddis?
Nah, I ain't getting Reggie. No.
He ain't
Folks
gonna take
play
it
too
serious."
goddamn much. You gonna be out there laughing all day. You I'm
That's
uh man, I gotta man, there's so many lineups. I
shit.
just
Bow
ain't
Wow
been
was something else too.
he was straight. He was straight.
Don't
I'm
forget
taking
about
I'm
like
taking I'm taking blue with me though. I'm taking blue
Blue
with
Woo.
me.
You taking it
Nino
with you?
Blue.
You taking it
Yeah,
with
he
you to
get
hoop, or you
all
taking it
that
with
went.
you to be on the sideline?
No, I'm taking him to come hoop with me. That's in his prime though. I ain't taking him out of his prime though. I remember when me
And
and
don't
Blue was in prison. When me and Blue was in prison, we used to gamble a lot. And boy, I couldn't make a bucket one day. And we was playing some guys from Milwaukee. I couldn't make a bucket. Blue done made 13 goddamn buckets. 14 buckets. All I had to do was make one. And I kept on blowing the shots. And we ended up losing. We lost $100. $100 in prison. That's a lot of canteen. That's
man,
a lot of canteen.
that sound hectic. That sound
Well,
hectic.
was I had to take that
Um,
L, but no, he
and,
got
and
me out.
shout
Blue
out,
got me out.
shout out.
Blue got me out the muck a couple times while we was in there though. on the
Shout out
court.
to also J Rock Magneto. Him and Chop used to shoot them half court shots for money too.
Oh yeah, all the time, all the time, all the time. And shouts out
Yep.
to those folks because Chop he really took our football team. He gave so much time into the Southside Raiders. It's crazy. And the basketball teams.
Yeah, definitely. There's so many Southside legends that don't get enough flowers, but we need to make sure that when we doing stuff and we have opportunities to give those flowers that we give them. Chop is definitely one of those guys too. All the people
Goddamn
that
right. He put a
donated
lot of
about his
motherfucking
time,
donation time.
donation time, money, energy to football,
Yup.
basketball, and anybody else you can think of that supported the Raiders, and then started their own program. So definitely want to shout out everybody that has been supportive of the youth over the years, and we definitely just appreciate everybody tapping in. Mr. Hello World himself, I appreciate you taking time to come out and jump on here with me. And so, with that being said, we're gonna get this thing up out of here. So until next time, well, I'll holla at you. Peace.
Peace.